You ready for work, Molly? You ready? What are you thinking? Morning, guys. February 7, 2023. And there I got a call from a lady. She's got a 4-family house. And she got a complaint from one of the tenants that one of the heating systems was making a lot of noise. She said something about it was rattling at the expansion tank. So that sounds to me like it's making steam. It doesn't have the proper water pressure in there, or maybe a circulator. But that's what the tenant had said, that it was making all kinds of noise from the expansion tank, rattling noise. We're gonna go over there and jump out the heat and get it to run and see if we can make it happen. And could be a stuck feeder. That's what I'm thinking. You know, stuck feeder, and it doesn't have the proper water pressure in the system, maybe. But we'll try to get you some shots when I get over there. Lady's supposed to meet me there. The owner. Figure it out. So this is the one we're talking about here that's rattling.
It says studio on it.
Okay, let's see if we get a...
That tank doesn't look that old. And
doesn't.
that's gas. And I asked the lady upstairs in the studio apartment if she hears her radiators making noise, and she said sometimes. But it didn't phase her enough to call me and report it.
Wow, 220. That thing's way up. The high limit's way too high.
What does that mean?
The high limit was at 220.
Yeah, but what does that mean?
That means the boiler's gonna get super hot. Might be making steam.
Oh.
Yeah, it was way too high.
Okay.
It was at 220.
For a little studio apartment.
Which would go to 240, you know? Okay. That might have been what the issue was.
Oh, okay. It's a tiny apartment. It's like 400 square feet.
But I'm gonna jump it out. We're gonna jump it out and we're gonna check it, okay?
Okay.
She's not home, is she?
Let me see. I think I saw her car, but it doesn't mean she's home, because sometimes she has somebody pick her up.
Yeah, I'd like to jump out the thermostat if I can, which I should be able to. The magnetic one, that'll work. I should be able to jump it out.
Without her being home, you mean?
Yeah.
Let me see.
Sounds like you got a battery chirp in there.
In there too?
Alright, there we go. We just jumped it out. So
I don't need her then?
No.
Okay. Plumbers use language that I'm not familiar with, so I apologize if I ask a lot of questions.
That's fine.
I need to know what I'm answering to, right?
Asking questions is not a problem.
I assume I know I'm not wrong, right?
I mean, it could be anything. That's an old beast, man.
Morning, Jane.
Must be off on, it must be off on limit, because I just turned it way down.
Right, plumber? You don't need to go in her apartment, right?
No. The thing was way up on limit. I mean, I turned the limit way down to 180.
She says she's going out in about 20 minutes if you need her.
No, I jumped it out right here.
Set.
Yeah.
He's all set then. Thank you so much, Jane.
Circulator's running.
You thought it was normal? Right, I don't either. But when you hear that, like, I mean, I think that they rattle a little bit, right? Radiators.
This is what was happening.
Yeah, but if it's too much, you need to let me know, okay? All right, thanks, Jane.
The high limit was way too high. So I think what might have been happening is it might have been making steam.
That's right.
So now, when it gets to 180, it should shut off. Before it was at like a 220 plus 15 degree differential. That's like almost 240. And these aren't always that accurate. So I lowered the limit way down. It's running right now.
Okay.
I'll wait for it to fire back up.
Okay.
And make sure everything's okay. But I'm thinking that's probably what the problem was.
Okay. She said she heard the rattling, but she thought it was normal. Yeah. Because they do rattle a little bit, right?
Well, they do sometimes. I mean, I'm going to put this pin in the other one, because the other one don't have a pin, and check the feeder. See if the feeder... She's not complaining about heat, right?
No.
Could just be that. Now, how did you get my number?
Well, I called you, I think, last year to do a bathroom, and I think it was you. I'm pretty sure it was you. You said you don't do rebuilds, you just service. Is that you?
That's me.
That was you.
That
Okay,
was me.
okay.
Well,
Okay. I got your number from...
the thing is down.
It must have been you, but I thought Spring Street was like off of Russell's Mills.
No, off of, between Walmart and UMass.
Yeah, I know where that is. I live down there too.
You do?
Yeah. I've been living in Dartmouth for 34 years, 35, something like that. I live behind UMass. You know Fisher Road?
Oh, okay, yeah. So we're neighbors.
Yeah, basically, Spring Street, yeah. Yeah, and I called you about the bathroom, and you said,
well,
I don't do bathrooms, I just service.
I'm only one guy.
You work by yourself?
I work by myself. It's me and the dog. So sometimes it's...
The dog help?
Well, just for company, you know.
Yeah. Now, why does that one not have that? Is that a big deal?
It does. It's just that it does have the pin, but I got to take this nut off to be able to push it down.
Okay.
I don't know why. It does have the thing.
Okay.
Let me just take that nut off. I just want to make sure the feed is feeding.
Okay.
The thing hasn't even kicked on yet because it's still so hot in that sucker.
Okay. But if she was let me ask you a dumb question, but if she kept her temperature low, and I know she's very frugal, so she's on Social Security.
The limit wasn't set right. The high limit was too high.
Yeah, but if she kept her temperature low, wouldn't that eliminate some of that steam?
No, because what happens is, even if she keeps it low, it's still going to call for heat.
Okay.
When it calls for heat, this boiler is going to start up.
It's set up there.
It's going to heat up to high limit and shut off. Okay. So if it's set at 220 or 240,
right,
it's going to really heat up really hot.
Okay.
And it could get to the point where it's making steam.
Okay.
And then that's probably what happened. So I brought the high limit way down to where it needs to be.
Okay.
You don't need to go any more than 180.
Okay. So the dysfunction is only in the boiler and has nothing to do with the heat in
Right,
her
so
apartment, right?
Let me explain how it works.
Okay.
When it calls for heat,
Okay.
the boiler will fire up and warm up and heat the house.
Right.
And then it'll heat up to the high limit and then shut off.
Okay.
But your high limit was at 220 instead of 180.
Okay,
so that's a big difference.
Right.
So right now, I got to set at 180. This boiler's running right now, but it's so hot in the boiler, it's not kicking on.
Okay.
It could be that the control's bad and not controlling properly, and getting so hot it's making steam. It could be that.
Okay.
But usually the relief valve would blow. But you got a new relief valve. So we're on a process. Of warming it up right now. It still hasn't fired yet. But I'm working on getting this thing so I can see if there's water in the system.
Now,
I gotta take this. I gotta take this.
Would cause the rattling?
I gotta take this nut off of here, and then I could push the feeder down.
Steve, so that rattling was caused
I'm not sure, ma'am. I haven't even fired the boiler yet. You're like you're going way ahead of me here.
Okay, I tend
You
to
know
do
what I'm
that.
saying?
Yep. Slow down.
You're going way ahead of me.
Okay.
I'm still trying to find out what's going on.
Okay.
So let's take one step at a time here, please.
Sure.
All
Just
right,
tell me off. I don't mind.
No, I'm just letting you know. You gotta slow it down.
That's fine.
You're getting a little uppity on me here.
Yeah, I am. I get nervous.
You're getting nervous on me, and
Yeah.
you're way out of line here. You gotta give me time to do it here,
Okay.
right?
Okay, I got you.
Oh, I just want to see if we get this thing to feed. The feeder. That's on, but it doesn't seem to want to feed water. They got it off. They got the feeder off. No wonder why. They have no water in the system. They had the water off. See that?
You can hear it.
So that's why it wasn't feeding. It was definitely going to make steam like that then. Wow.
Who turned that off?
It could be that this tank is bad and it was blowing the relief valve. Well, that seems okay. It's like I said, we got to do one thing at a time here, right? Alright, so I got this open now. So now we got water going in the system. Guaranteed that's what it was. It was making flipping steam. we have to check things. Oh, it looks like it might have a leak on there. Maybe that's why they shut it off. Yeah. Always something. Boy, she just fired.
It is.
Hear it?
Yeah, I do.
Just fired, so that's good. That's good news. So you're into the rental homes, huh?
Not really. This was bought because my father lived across the street.
Yeah, that's why they shut it off, because this thing's leaking there. See it? Well, I should be able to tighten the pack, and yeah, see, I tighten the pack and then it'll stop. It was dripping there. See it?
Yep.
Now I tighten that.
Yep.
Now that's going to stop that leak.
Okay.
That's probably why they shut it off.
Because it was leaking.
It was dripping.
Yep.
Tighten the packing, and that should stop the leak.
Yeah, my father lived across the street in the nursing home. And my mother was supposed to move here. But
Okay, so she's running. So this is what happened now. They had the water feeder off, so they didn't have pressure in the system. With it being so high, it's going to stop. If there's space in there, it's going to make steam. Steam system doesn't have water, constant pressure on it. It just filled the water a small amount. I bet you that's what was happening. This thing was shaking like a flipping...
Right.
Shaking because it was making steam. I'm surprised she's got heat upstairs.
Yeah, no complaint.
Yeah, well, it's coming back warm. You can feel it. That's good. 3/4 and in and out. Holy cow, that's like tiny. But so we're running it right now, and we're gonna make sure. But that makes sense now, right?
Yeah. Yep.
You had to give me a little time so I could figure out what was going on.
Okay, Steve.
Right?
Right. Right. I'm sure you've dealt with nervous people before, right?
Yeah, it's fine. That don't bother me.
They don't mean any harm. They're just
No,
nervous.
no, it just...
Yeah, they're just nervous.
Yeah.
And anxious.
Well, I'm thinking that's probably what it was. It's going to let it heat up a little bit and shut off on high limit. I want it to shut off on high limit, which it will. We'll make sure that control's okay. We lowered it down. Yeah, so our differential's at 15. Our low limit shut all the way off because we're not using it. This is an old boiler. It's got a tankless in it for a gas boiler. That's very unusual. It's an old unit.
How old is it? Does it have a year there? Can you see it?
Probably in the 70s.
70s?
70s or 80s. You know? So she's
She's an old gal.
she's an old gal, yeah.
She has a good heart.
I don't know if it says, I don't know. Could look it up with the model number, but yeah, she's definitely an older unit. As long as it's still running and it's not leaking, we leave it alone for you. Yeah, that's the way I look at it.
I just don't understand why somebody buys such a huge water tank for 400 square feet.
Yeah, it's like way oversized.
Yeah, look at that thing. That's a monster compared to everybody else.
It's a monster.
Yeah, it is. Makes no sense.
This one's the same way. This is another 3/4 zone. You're only going to get 60,000 BTUs out of 3/4. See the 3/4 supply? That's all you can get out of that 3/4 is 60,000 BTUs. So if they put a 140 in here, you only can get 60,000 out of the loop. You're like way oversized.
Okay.
1 inch you can get 90.
90?
Like the one you got right there, that's 1 inch.
Yeah.
So that zone will put that boiler through that 1 inch pipe. You can get 90. You can push out 90,000 BTUs. So if you get a 120,000 BTU boiler, it's oversized. If you only got 1 inch pipe,
Right.
you only can put so much through. 3/4 is 60.
I wish all plumbers knew that, right? So this is the size to have, the 1 inch.
Studio apartment. They got a big water heater.
Yeah, it's
50,000 or something in there.
That's crazy.
I wonder why it's so big.
I don't know.
There's a 40. I mean, this is only a little apartment, right? They should have 30s in here.
Which department is that one?
I can see the 40s, because you know why? The 40s are cheaper than the 30s. So if you put a 30 in, it's going to cost you more money. So might as well just go a 40.
40, that's what they did.
But a 50,
50 is...
I wouldn't do it, because it's overkill.
Maybe it was on discount.
Huh?
Maybe there was a sale.
Maybe a sale. Probably not.
No?
No.
Okay. Somebody saw it, it made sense at the time, right?
So I'm telling you, this thing's running now. I don't see no vibration. It's been running for a little bit here, right? I just want to make sure she shuts off on high limit. I mean, because that controller's a little crusty there, we want to make sure everything's right. Now, you retired or you still working?
No, I'm not retired yet.
Still too young for that, right?
Yeah.
You wish you were.
I know. Well, God knows what they're going to do with Social Security.
Well, what's going on with that?
They're trying to cut benefits. Social Security, mass health. You don't follow politics?
I try not to.
Yeah, no, it's too depressing.
Isn't it?
I take breaks, yeah.
I mean, it can
The
just...
Republicans are trying to cut, but we'll see what happens. They threaten things all the time.
Well, this mass health, I mean, it seems like a lot of people on it that shouldn't be on it.
Massachusetts, yeah, especially Massachusetts. We're called the Taxachusetts for a reason, right? That's our nickname.
Yeah.
Taxachusetts.
I pay all my own. I'm not on that mass health.
No, my parents were poor, but we never went on any kind of aid.
Yeah.
My father was too proud.
Yeah.
He came here with 3 kids.
Well, you know what it is?
He worked by
This
himself.
mass health, people don't realize it. If, say you're on mass health, right, and then you inherit money or you hit the lottery, there's what they call a mass health recovery program. They'll go after that, and they'll get their money back. Did you know that?
They put it on other people's names.
Yeah, you gotta kind of really be...
They know the system. They know how to go around it. I worked in social service.
So you know.
Yeah, I know. They do all sorts of things. They know the system. They put cars, Mercedes in other people's names. They drive
Crazy, huh?
They drive their Mercedes to the welfare office.
Believable.
They're very bold. They get, it's like they have no shame. You know, I worked, there are some people that are needy, that truly need it. That's why Roosevelt set it up, for those who need it, but you're supposed to get off of it, not stay on it for, you know, for your life, and then have your kids and your there's 4 generations of people on aid.
So listen to this.
4
Now,
generations.
I have health insurance. I pay my own health insurance. But a few years back, the independent, you know, health insurance companies, I could go to them and say what policy I wanted, and then they would say, this policy is good. Well, they stopped doing that because there was no money in it. So me as a guy that pays my own health insurance, I had to go online and do it to find out which was the best plan. So somebody told me there's a place at St. Luke's Hospital, you can call them and they could tell you what plan to go on, what's the best plan. So I called them, they asked me how much I made. Well, you don't qualify for our help. You got to do it on your own. It's like unbelievable. She said I made too much money, that she wouldn't even talk to me.
Are you past 60 years old?
Huh?
Are you 60 or older?
No, I was like 56 at the time.
No, but now, how old are you?
I'm 58.
58, because there's also Coastline Elderly Services, but you have to be 60 in order
Yeah,
to
so you
get
get to the,
services.
I'm at the point where I don't want
You're in the
nothing for
middle,
free.
yeah.
I pay my own way, but,
Right.
you know, these programs, you would figure that they would at least tell you what you know, use this plan or that plan, you know, I still have to pay for it,
Right.
but they wouldn't even help me,
No, they don't.
you know, because I don't qualify
you
for
went
it.
to financial services at St. Louis, right?
Must have been.
Yeah. They used to do that, but then when they cut people's people off of the program, the department, now there's less people to help people to answer those questions.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think this this limit's shutting off. It's been running for a while, right?
I don't know how long are you supposed to wait.
Well, we'll see what the temperature says on the thing. Yeah, that gauge isn't probably reading properly. Oh, she just shut off. All right,
Okay.
so she did shut off on limit, okay?
Yep.
The relief valve's not blowing. Our expansion tank is still good at this point. She's a crusty old lady, but she's still working.
Okay. Good heart.
Right?
Yep.
So I'm glad you were here so you could see what was going on.
I'm glad too.
Simple fix, right?
Yep. For now.
For now. Okay, so we lowered the high limit. We turned the water back onto boiler. And boiler shut off on high limit. So, like I said, she's crusty and rusty, but she's still working. Not blowing the relief valve. No water there. So, as of today, she's working.
Okay.
Right?
Yep. We hope it stays like that.